What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another one of my videos. In today's video, we pretty much gonna be watching a video of I don't know how they orchestrate this video, but the title is "Things Aren't Looking Good for LaMelo Ball." I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he just need a new team, to be honest with you, because the Hornets are I think they're one of the worst teams in the NBA right now. I don't even know their record. I just know Indiana's doing better than them, and that's just funny. But LaMelo honestly probably just needs to go to Indiana. You know what I'm saying? Help us out, do a little better. Indiana's not my favorite team, but since I live here, you know what I'm saying, I gotta represent them a little bit. But yeah, let's get into this video and see what they're talking about with LaMelo. Why LaMelo needs help with what they got going on.
LaMelo Ball is the leader of the worst team in the NBA. It is so bad, they're worse than the Rockets, who are trying to lose. The Hornets coach was so mad the other day, he ripped the players like they're kids.
We are playing no defense, not one guy. Well, all we want to be is let's try to outscore the other teams. Doesn't work in the NBA. All we care about is scoring. That's it. And if you're going to try to play like that, you better have like 5 all-stars.
Look, maybe it's a good thing because they can rebuild if they get the #1 overall pick, but even then, it wouldn't matter. This is such a bad sign for LaMelo if you look at NBA history. I just did a video on why Chris Paul is such a dirty player. His first ever beef was with Rajon Rondo. Rondo got in CP3's face and told him, "I've got a ring, you're never gonna win."
God damn. I think the Hornets play the Lakers today at 10:30, and I had to look this up real quick. The Hornets are 8-24. God damn, that's bad.
Which is true, but Chris Paul is obviously the much better player. The difference is where they were drafted. Rondo got picked by a historically great organization with teammates like Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen. Chris Paul was a New Orleans Hornet who were so bad they had to move cities. That is such an underrated part of every player's career. Some teams always draft in the lottery, but they can never improve somehow. Other teams will never spend more than a couple of seasons in a rebuild. If a player like Bradley Beal was drafted to the Heat, he would be considered a top 10 NBA player. Instead, he's a wizard and he's already an afterthought at 29 years old. That could happen to LaMelo. The problem is the owner. Michael Jordan gets a pass because he's the best player ever, but he's one of the worst owners in sports. He should be held accountable for ruining this franchise and potentially LaMelo's career. Now, I want to show exactly how he's failed, but part of this is not his fault. Miles Bridges got votes for most improved player last year. He was Charlotte's leader in points per game. Before getting potentially a max contract, he was arrested for domestic violence. How did they replace him? Well, here's a list of all of their moves this offseason. Number 1, they re-signed Cody Martin, and that's it. That's the whole list. MJ fired coach James Borrego out of nowhere after he had a winning record, and their coaching search was such a mess. They agreed to hire Kenny Atkinson from the Warriors, but at the last minute, he was like, you know what? Never mind. He knew that's a bad situation. And that's the problem with being a dysfunctional organization. You don't get looks from the best coaches or the best GMs, so it's just a never-ending cycle of crap. So they rehired Steve Clifford, and as you can see, he is already going crazy. Right now, the Hornets are the worst NBA team on offense and 25th on defense. But the worst part,
y'all think I got a chance to try out for the Hornets or whatever? The height might be a little off, but I think I could play power forward or something.
Is how amazing LaMelo Ball actually is. People doubted him coming into the league. He won Rookie of the Year. In his first game back this season from injury, he just flicked this no-look cross-court pass to Kelly Oubre for a 3. You see that, and you're like, how many other players could make a play like that? But his career could be ruined because of the team that drafted him. Some guys like Chris Paul eventually can make it out to a better team, but he never won a title. Kemba Walker,
man, look at Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony. There's a lot of great players, and Chris Paul, there's a lot of great players that never won a championship because they was on the wrong team. And Damian Lillard might be one of them if he don't get out of Portland. You know what I'm saying? I know he loved Portland and all that, but I've been saying for the longest, can you imagine if Damian Leonard went to Milwaukee and he was playing with Giannis? Like, just those two? Man, that would have been a championship team for real.
Wasted his prime years there, and by the time he left, it was too late. It's what makes me give a guy like LeBron James even more props. LeBron was drafted to a horrible team, but still ended up with an all-time career. LaMelo isn't that special. Just look at his brother, Lonzo. Gets drafted to the dysfunctional Lakers, which set him back in terms of shooting or just learning how to win in a good environment. Finally, he gets traded to New Orleans, but they weren't ready to win yet. By the time he enters his prime, it could already be too late with injuries. This is a huge problem for LaMelo, and at minimum, he is going to waste his first 7 seasons in Charlotte. The way the NBA is set up, the player's original team holds them hostage with money. After a 4-year rookie contract, the team that drafted them can offer about $85 million more than any other team. That's because the home team can offer more money and an extra year to their rookie. And that is so much more money. We have never seen a player turn down a max extension ever.
Would y'all be on the team that's trash
injured, he could
for a
randomly
whole lot of
fall
money?
off. We don't
Say
know.
100 million,
So
but
turning
you on a
down a
terrible
max
team.
extension is not realistic. He will stay a Hornet for a long time. And by the time that second deal is over, he'll be 27 years old before he's actually a free agent for the first time. Now, the only way around this is Michael Jordan becoming a great owner. So far, he's been one of the worst. MJ took over in 2010. Since then, they have made the postseason just 2 times and have never won a playoff series. He has screwed up every decent player they've drafted. Look at how Malik Monk magically took off once he left. He's given out stupid big contracts like giving Nicholas Batum 5 years, $120 million, but MJ's never paid the luxury tax. They're the only team to never pay it. Their highest draft pick was at number 2 in the 2012 draft. Could have had players like Bradley Beal or Damian Lillard, but MJ took Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Other MJ draft decisions include taking Kemba over Clay and Kawhi, Cody Zeller over Giannis, Noah Vonleh over Zach LaVine, Frank Kaminsky over Devin Booker, and Malik Monk over Donovan Mitchell. Now, some of that you can just call bad luck, like not getting Giannis. I get that. But that many bad picks is a clear pattern of dysfunction. But the Hornets should have known that MJ was going to be a train wreck after he ruined a different franchise. Everybody remembers Jordan finishing his playing days with the Wizards. They forget how he got there. Jordan became a part owner in 2000 and they let him run the front office. His first decision was to draft Kwame Brown, number 1, over Pau Gasol. When that didn't work, Jordan figured, I'm going to take matters into my own hands, and he unretired. He then dealt a young Rip Hamilton for vets, which screwed up their future so bad they finished in 10th place in 2003. For some reason, the best player ever cannot identify talent in other people. That is why he needs to let go of control for what happens next.
This guy clearly likes LeBron better.
Are about to enter a crucial year if LaMelo is ever going to be successful there. At the trade deadline this year, they're so bad, most of their players will be on the trade block. Guys like Mason Plumlee, Kelly Oubre, PJ Washington are on expiring contracts, should bring back draft picks. But the Lakers reportedly have interest in Terry Rozier. They should do anything to get at least one of LA's draft picks, because if they're lucky enough to get Victor Wembanyama, that Laker pick will be key to surrounding him and LaMelo with talent. The worst place for a team to be is in the middle, and if they don't trade pieces now, what if they ruin their chances for the number 1 pick by actually winning games this year? But if they tear it down for draft picks, there could actually be some hope. MJ just needs to let someone else do the drafting if LaMelo...
I'm actually going to pause right there. I only have a limited amount of time. But, I mean, if y'all enjoyed that video and y'all personally feel like LaMelo does need help, you know what I'm saying? If you're a big basketball fan, what do you think the Charlotte Hornets need to do to get back on top? Do you really blame Michael Jordan? Or do you blame the players or the coaches or whatnot? But until then, I'm going to talk to you on my next video. All right, I'm out.